Recently, I watched Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, a movie that left a profound impression on me, particularly a scene where the Eagle Clan apes discover human children's books. The apes, shocked by the sight of English letters and the revelation that humans and apes once coexisted, struggled to comprehend how a race they now see as scavengers once dominated the earth. This scene resonated deeply with me, paralleling certain spiritual messages I've encountered that challenge our understanding of human origins and history. Exploring alternative histories. The notion of forgotten advanced civilizations and extraterrestrial origins for humanity is not new. Many spiritual teachers, conspiracy theorists, and speculative fiction writers explore this theme. Dolores Cannon, in her book Keepers of the Garden, posits that humans were seeded on Earth by extraterrestrials from various planets, such as Venus and Mars. She suggests that different human races originated from different planets, bringing advanced technologies and spiritual practices that laid the foundations for ancient civilizations. Similarly, Omnek Onek, who claims to be a Venusian, describes in her book From Venus I Came her journey from Venus to Earth. She speaks of a harmonious and peaceful society on Venus, far advanced compared to Earth. These narratives, among others by writers like Zecharia Sitchin, Erich von Däniken, and David Icke, propose that our extraterrestrial ancestors significantly influenced human history and evolution. Challenging our worldview. When I first encountered these ideas, I was skeptical and in disbelief. The concept that humans might have originated from other planets shattered my understanding of our evolution and history. It reminded me of the apes in the movie, struggling to reconcile new information with their established beliefs. However, over time, as I delved deeper into spiritual teachings, I began to find these ideas fascinating and plausible. The limits of perception. Humans rely heavily on observation. Seeing is believing. If we haven't directly observed something, we find it hard to believe. This explains the apes' reaction in the movie and our own resistance to alternative histories. Our worldview is often limited by our sensory experiences and the linear way we interpret history. Imagine trying to comprehend the daily life of an ancient Roman without first-hand experience. It's challenging even with historical records and documentaries. Similarly, understanding a history that spans across planets and dimensions requires a leap beyond our usual sensory constraints. Rethinking ethnic diversity genetic studies show that all humans share a common ancestor, with physical differences arising from adaptations to Earth's varied environments. Yet the idea that different races originated on different planets before migrating to Earth offers an intriguing alternative. This perspective suggests that our genetic and physical diversity was established on different planets, rather than evolving solely on Earth. It also aligns with the various divine entities worshipped in ancient cultures, possibly stemming from extraterrestrial origins. UFO sightings and alien encounters. The abundance of UFO sightings and stories of alien encounters adds another layer to this narrative. Skeptics may dismiss these accounts without concrete evidence, but those open to exploring beyond the five senses can find a wealth of information supporting the existence of extraterrestrial beings. The idea that these beings have visited Earth for millennia and influenced our development isn't far-fetched when considering the countless sightings and reports of alien interactions. Higher dimensions and evolution. In her book, The Convoluted Universe, Dolores Cannon explores the idea that ancient civilizations like the Aztecs evolved into higher dimensions, becoming light beings. This concept resonates with the idea of a 3D to 5D shift, where both Earth and its inhabitants move to a higher consciousness level. As beings evolve, they transcend physical limitations, explaining why ancient advanced civilizations seem to have disappeared. They are either destroyed somehow or may exist in higher dimensions beyond our perception. And the UFOs we see might be crafted on a dimension higher than ours, so we can't see. The pilots might have gone through dimensional shift long ago and are living in the higher dimension. If you look at a piece of paper with a man and his dog drawn on it, the paper itself exists in 2D. The man can only see his surroundings within the paper, such as his dog. However, he can't see you because you exist in a 3D reality. If we were to bend the paper, the man could then appear in another spot on the paper, effectively achieving warping or space travel through a higher dimension. The man himself couldn't achieve this by his own means. This analogy might help explain why we can't see UFOs unless they choose to reveal themselves to us, and why we can't move as fast as they do, as we are always bound by the physical laws of the 3D world. This can also explain the crop circle created by their craft's propulsions, for it happens on a higher dimensional level. All we see is a circle left behind on our 3D level. Ancient texts and alien influence. The divine encounters and mystical creatures described in ancient texts might also reflect interactions with advanced extraterrestrial beings. These accounts could be remnants of a time when our ancestors had direct contact with these beings who guided and influenced early human societies. Today, these beings may choose to observe from a distance, intervening only when necessary to protect the planet. Understanding through cinematic analogies. In Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, the Eagle Clan Apes' discovery of human children's books serves as a potent metaphor for our own journey toward understanding our origins. Just as the apes were shocked by the revelation of a once advanced human society, many of us are initially resistant to the idea of extraterrestrial ancestry. This resistance often stems from our reliance on direct observation and tangible evidence. We struggle to accept what we cannot see or experience firsthand. This is a natural human inclination, but it also limits our ability to perceive broader possibilities. The shift in perception. Over time, just as I did, one might begin to embrace these alternative narratives. The process involves opening oneself to new information and allowing for the possibility that our current understanding is incomplete. When I first read about humans originating from different planets, my immediate reaction was disbelief. How could this be possible? This idea was so far removed from everything I had been taught. But as I read more and delved deeper into the spiritual teachings of various authors, I began to see the coherence and the possibility within these ideas. The role of adaptation. Considering our physical and genetic diversity, it makes sense to explore the idea that humans might have originated from different planets. Our genetic differences, which science attributes to adaptations to various environments on Earth, could also be explained by initial development on different planets. Each race, having evolved under unique planetary conditions, would arrive on Earth already possessing distinct physical characteristics. This perspective offers an intriguing explanation for the diversity we observe today, one that aligns with the narratives proposed by spiritual teachers and alternative historians. The enigma of UFOs. The numerous UFO sightings and alien encounter stories further add to the puzzle. If we consider that these beings have visited Earth for millennia, it isn't far-fetched to think they might have influenced our development. However, for those who rely solely on their five senses, the existence of UFOs and aliens remains a matter of skepticism. But for those willing to look beyond, there's a wealth of information and evidence supporting their existence. This discrepancy in belief highlights the limitations of human perception and the need to expand our understanding beyond the physical realm. Dimensions and evolutionary shifts. Dolores Cannon's work on higher dimensions provides a fascinating perspective on human evolution. The idea that ancient civilizations evolved into higher dimensions and became light beings aligns with the concept of a 3D to 5D shift. Being on this planet, our ultimate goal is to evolve into a higher level of consciousness along with Earth. Earth itself is an organism or a giant piece of energy, and it also needs to evolve to a higher consciousness level. Ancient civilizations achieved this goal long ago. As they evolved into higher dimensions, they became lighter beings and shed their physical bodies, which resonates with the concept of the 3D to 5D shift that is supposedly happening right now, or the so-called rapture in biblical terms. Once people and the planet transition to a higher frequency level, they are no longer bound by the laws of the 3D world, such as the speed limit of light and the physical constraints of dense reality. The planet itself also ascends to a higher dimension, causing the old 3D Earth to gradually die out and become a wasteland, similar to Mars or Venus. This occurs because Earth's spiritual energy has shifted to a higher dimension where it continues to exist. If beings from the 3D level visit Earth, they would see it as a wasteland. But the truth is that the entities on this planet already exist in a higher dimension. Since people in 3D cannot perceive higher dimensions, they mistakenly believe the planet has died out. This perspective might explain why Venus and Mars seem empty and lifeless, while spiritual teachers and gurus claim to see inhabitants there. It also explains why, during alien abductions, people experience mists, cones of light, and suddenly find themselves on vessels. They might have temporarily shifted to a higher dimension or frequency, allowing them to perceive beings existing at that level. This is also why we can't see UFOs directly. They exist in higher realities. The beings piloting them likely evolved into that reality long ago and crafted their vessels in that higher dimension, which we can't see but can only sense. However, at times, these beings choose to reveal themselves in our sky. They must have the technology to slow down their frequencies to a lower one so we can see them. As for why they choose to reveal themselves, I do not know and cannot tell. The alien connection in ancient texts. Ancient texts filled with divine encounters and mystical creatures might reflect interactions with advanced extraterrestrial beings. These beings, who guided and influenced early human societies, could have been recorded in these texts as gods or divine entities. This perspective offers a compelling explanation for the divine encounters described in ancient times and the apparent absence of such encounters in the modern era. It's possible that these beings now observe from afar, intervening only when necessary to protect the planet. Concluding thoughts. The movie kingdom of the Planet of the Apes and the spiritual teachings I've encountered both challenge us to expand our understanding of human history and origins. By being open to alternative narratives and exploring beyond our sensory limitations, we can uncover a richer, more complex story of humanity's place in the cosmos. The journey from skepticism to acceptance is a personal one, but it opens up a fascinating realm of possibilities. What are your thoughts? Share your perspectives in the comments, and if you enjoyed this article, please like and subscribe for more insights.